after returning from lunch. During my primary school days, my teacher would ask us to put our head on the decks for about 15 minutes or so. Then she will ask us to stand and sit and stretch our hands beyond above our head for probably another 2 or 3 minutes. After which, we would either repeat our timetables from 1 to 12 several times, or she will give us books to read. One of the many books that I read that time spoke about the silent king of the island of Lorraine by the name of Alric. Alric was not cruel, but he was afraid. He oddly spoke to his people. He didn't know what was going on. And when he spoke to his people, it is usually through messages written by his advisors. He locked himself away in his palace, and he would not see what was going on in the outside world, in the country of Lorraine, that mountainous, beautiful country, as the story went. One day, though, there was a flood. There were heavy rain, and it lasted for months and months and months. The bridge was broken. The schools were destroyed. The people began to ask whether the king really cared about them, whether he knew that the school didn't have books, whether he knew that the bridge was down, and so on. But Alric didn't know, because he locked himself away in the palace, well dressed in robes and everything. Although he has a barber problem, because sometimes his beard didn't trim properly. Sometimes one side was higher than once. And when he came in public that way, he was laughed and mocked at. But one night, Alric decided that he's going to look outside. And Alric looked outside, and he saw his people with lantern working. They were working, and they were speaking. And so the next day, Alric took off his robe, took off his crown, and without any aids and any securities, he went into the street and he listened to the people. At first, no one spoke, but then a little child stepped forward and said to him, "The bridge is broken." It was the first time Alric was hearing. And then one voice became two, and two voices became three, and then there were many voices. Alric, from that time, started to talk to his people, and he stopped governing from the palace. He learned something. A leader who hides in silence is weak. Yes, a leader who hides in silence is weak. And the president of Cricket West Indies, from now on, known as King Rule, is hiding in silence, demonstrating that he is weak. I want to tell King Rule this morning that a leader who listens grows strong. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the #1 cricket channel in the Caribbean. I thank you very much for being here. I appreciate your company, and I look forward to your interaction this morning. King Rule recently stated that West Indies have submitted a provisional T20 squad to the ICC for the Cricket World Cup. We have been all year waiting for the squad to be released. We saw the other squads from Australia, New Zealand, England, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Zimbabwe, Namibia, India. We saw all those squads, provisional squads, being released. Only for us to be told last week that the West Indies have sent off their provisional squad to the ICC in silence and have instructed the ICC not to publish it. Those statements come from King Rule himself. Not his exact words, I'm paraphrasing, but King Rule decided that he's going to not publish the squad for us. So we were here wondering, when is Cricket West Indies going to release the squad? When are they going to send the squad for the ICC? We knew that the deadline was passed, but King Rule is a coward. King Rule and Blunder Factory are cowards. They have no confidence in what they are doing. They are afraid of the people. They don't know how to fix the problem. So they're locked away in their robes and they're barbering not so good because they're cowards. They are cowards. They don't have the solution to West Indies cricket problem. And they are afraid that whatsoever they say or do will be challenged because they do not have the skill sets to do what will please majority of us. They will never please majority of us. They can't. It's just the nature. We can't please all people, and we should not strive to please all people. But King Rule and Blunder Factory cannot manage West Indies cricket, and therefore they are hiding in their palaces because they're afraid to tell the people what they are doing. They are afraid to talk because when they talk, they know that it's another blunder, and majority of us will recognize that what they are saying doesn't meet the grade. The second reason why King Rule decided to instruct the ICC not to release the squad is because they do not respect us. The World Cup is not being played in the West Indies. Therefore, they don't need our support. Win, lose, or draw, they are going to get the money from the World Cup that is designated, depends on how far they go. So even if one person from the Caribbean doesn't watch the World Cup, it doesn't affect how much money Cricket West Indies get. So King Rule and Blunder Factory care less. We, the stakeholders of West Indies cricket, who forks out money to go and watch the West Indies cricket team, and when they are ready, they come to us and they ask for our support, they beg for our support, and they talk about how much they are playing for the people of the Caribbean. Nonsense. And I've always said I don't want them to play for me. I don't want them to play for the people of the Caribbean. I want them to play for themselves and their families. So they don't have any respect for us. That's why they released this. They sent the squad to the ICC, but they did not inform the West Indies. And when it looks bad, when King Rule realized that no, he has messed up badly, last week he stated on the Mason Guest show that yes, West Indies have sent their squad to the ICC. but they asked them not to release it. That is totally disrespect. Total disrespect to those who support Cricket West Indies. Whether they took the decision not to release the squad or not, the respectful thing to do is to say to the people of the Caribbean, we are going to name the squad and send it off to the ICC, but would rather it not be announced until after the Afghanistan series. Whether I agree with that approach or you agree with that approach, for me, it shows respect because you have now communicated to your people and tell them what you are doing. So whether your people agree with you or don't agree with you, they cannot say you disrespected them because you did communicate with them. And that's what we are asking from King Rule and Blunder Factory. Communicate with us. As the story goes that I read all those years ago, and probably King Alric found out that a leader who hides in silence is weak, but a leader who listens grows strong. A leader who stood by his people and come down out of his palace. And when Cricket West Indies respect its stakeholders, and not only do that in words, but in actions, because they should have said to us, I would not have agreed with it, and I would have said I don't agree with it. But that's a separate issue. It is gross disrespect for us, for them not to inform us that they have released the squad to ICC. How many of you right now is learning for the first time that CWI has already sent its squad to the ICC? You would not have been in that state of wanting to know if they had come out and said, this is what we have done. But no, you don't need to know anything because right now we don't need your money. Right now we don't need you in the stadium. When the World Cup comes around, we will ask for your support. But right now, we don't need you. So we don't have to tell you anything. Disrespect. And that's the second reason why King Rule and Blunder Factory have not told us who they have selected in the provisional 15-man squad. Mark you, this squad can change any time up to the 30th of January or a week or so before the World Cup. A week or so before the World Cup, they can make changes to the squad. After that time, they will need the approval of the ICC technical committee to make changes to the squad. And I said this earlier. Say to the players, this is a provisional 15-man squad. Even if you are in this squad, your participation in the World Cup has not been confirmed. And this is how you communicate with people and show people respect. But they're afraid, they are cowards. So they can't even say to a player, you are in the provisional squad, but it is not a confirmation that you are going to the World Cup because they are cowards and they're afraid. And they're afraid to tell us this because they don't respect us, because they don't want our money right now. The third thing why they have not said it to us is that it is highly possible that Nicholas Pooran, they had a discussion with him around participating in the World Cup. And during those discussions, Pooran was very vague. He did not give them a definitive yes or no. And because they are weak and because they are cowards, they didn't come to us and said, we spoke with Puran, but there was no clarity. So they went ahead and named him in the 15-man squad. So after they named Puran in the 15-man squad, then is when Bravo did the interview, and then Puran came out and make his statement. Yes, it is highly possible that's what happened. That's why you got the statement from Puran, and then you got the interview from Bravo, because you have to understand the dynamics of all of that, because Bravo wants to be coach of Cricket West Indies teams. And he wants to position himself that I am the man who can get back Puran into the fold. Because as the poll that we did the other day showed, over 90% of you prefer Puran to be in the West Indies team than Darren Sammy to be in the coach. So that is probably the third reason why they did not release the squad, because it is highly possible that Puran was named in that squad. And then for Puran now to come out and say that he's not playing in the World Cup, he's not interested in playing in the World Cup, and Darren Bravo did the interview. Now they can't release the squad. So although they sent it to Cricket West, to ICC, they cannot release the squad. But to show you now how they try to spin this, there are more reasons, but those three, I think, are the three that I think are top of the line. But to show you how they try to spin this, and King Rule now believes that we do not understand spinning. Work with me now. In that same interview on the Mason Guest Show, King Rule said that they are going to revise the ultimate power that they have given to Blunder Factory. Last year, if you saw that interview that I did with Miles Bascom, and you saw the shock on his face when I told him that the ultimate power that they have given to Blunder Factory, England have tried it twice before and it failed miserably. He was so shocked. He didn't know. So from that time, they knew that it was a wrong decision to give Blunder Factory ultimate power. So in try to spin it now and to try to take our mind off the disrespect of not telling us that they have named the squad and asked the ICC not to publish it, to try to take our mind off it now, King Rule said, we are going to review the ultimate power that we have given to Darren Sammy. They're going to review it. Because he knows that Blunder Factory. He knows that 95% of the people in the Caribbean did not agree with the decision to give Blunder Factory ultimate power. The only 5% of persons who may agree are those people who love Darren Sammy more than how they love West Indies cricket. Anyone who loves West Indies cricket more than Darren Sammy, which is 95% of us, do not want Blunder Factory to have so much power. There's no way Blunder Factory should be given ultimate power. So he knows that the vast majority of the people in the Caribbean do not agree with the decision to give Blunder Factory so much power. So if he comes out and said, we are going to review the decision to give Blunder Factory so much power, he knew that the majority of the West Indies fans would welcome that. And so he's trying to spin it, he's trying to play us, because by spinning it and playing us that way, he is hoping that someone like me doesn't see the spin and can tell you that it is on the spinning, and it's another show of the disrespect that he has for us. It's another show of the disrespect that he has for us. Because he think that, you know, let me drip something, give them, and make them happy. And they will forget the fact that we never tell them who are in the provisional squad. That's what it comes down to. So when you heard King Rule said last week that we are going to review the ultimate power given to Blunder Factory, it is nothing more than to take our mind off the fact. It's not nothing more than to take our mind off the fact that they did not tell us that they have named the World Cup squad. It's nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. And so the next thing I want to look at this morning, and very briefly, is that the Under-19 World Cup starts on the 15th. The 15th, which is Friday coming. And the West Indies squad is already in Namibia, and they played their first warm-up match yesterday against Ireland. West Indies batted, and Joel Andrew, we got bowled out in the 48th over. Once again, a West Indies team failed to bat out their 50 overs, and we got bowled out in the 48th over. Joel Andrew was able to make a composed half-century. He looks very good. He batted well, and he stamped his authority and proceeded. But Ireland did not get to bat, although West Indies was bowled out in the 48th over. So that's an update on the Under-19 team, West Indies World Cup team. So once again, I thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Please remember to check out the Cricket Forum store in the video description. And also, Valentine's Day is coming up. And what better way to celebrate Valentine's Day with M&M chocolates? You know, it's an ideal gift for anyone. So check out the links in the video description. Click on the M&M link and you'll get 15% off key off the Cricket Forum when you use the code ADORE on your M&M chocolates. And check out the link also in the video description. And we support the Cricket Forum store. CTM Jamaica said, look out for my email. Oh, thank you very much, CTM Jamaica. We hope we can work out a contract. You know, definitely. Big up yourself, Lance Blake. Good morning, Sheldon Simit, Jamor Small. Good morning. What is the hold up with the squad? People keep asking me everywhere. So there you go, Jamor Small. Before now, you didn't know. Before this morning, you didn't know that the squad was actually sent to the ICC. But King Rule decided, Jamor Small, that you're a commoner. You don't need to know the West Indies squad until such time. Until after the Afghanistan series. So the squad that goes to South Africa will be actually the squad that is going to the World Cup in India. But King Rule decided that commoners like you and I know can go and stress out on yourself. You understand me, Jamor Small? Yeah. So Samuel Kane, welcome to the show. Good morning to you. So that's all it's about, Jamor Small. King Rule said, stress out yourself, man. I don't need to tell you anything. We don't need to communicate with you. We don't need to, you know. Sheldon Smith said, it only means that it is a strange and controversial squad, said Sheldon Smith. Okay, that's, but it goes back to show, Sheldon, is it controversial, Sheldon? Or is it goes back to what I said, the number one reason? They are coward and they're afraid because they have no confidence in what they are doing. They know that, well, that's the controversy because the people of the Caribbean will not agree with the squad. So they are afraid to show it to us because they are coward. So good morning to you, Mr. Casanova. Good morning to you too, Athena. So I appreciate every one of you who have tuned in. And remember, to you. Check out the links for the M&M store in the video description, along with the link for the Cricket Forum store. And really, you need to get some M&M chocolate for your loved ones this Valentine's Day. That's the least you can do. So check out the link. You get 15% courtesy of the Cricket Forum when you use the code ADORE. Take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and have a wonderful Sunday now. Bye for now.